Hello there, it's at Senior Mash, talking rugby union, and of course, the Autumn Nations. There you go, that's me on Substack. Please do subscribe, like, comment, give it a thumbs up, whether it's on Substack, whether it's on Talking Rugby Union's Facebook or Talking Rugby Union's YouTube. Give it some support if you like it. I really hope you do, and always keen to hear how I can give you better content. So what I've seen this week, well, particularly this weekend, is the South 5, the North 0. Well, that's what social media says anyway. And very interesting game at Murrayfield yesterday. Thoroughly enjoyed it on TV, and absolute credit to Scottish Rugby, the way they staged the game and their performance on the field. Interesting tweet from ex-Wallaby Tim Horan: when our game is on, it can engage so many people. #Wallabies. Very important in Australia that is believed, because rugby union is one of the so-called lesser sports in Australia. I've got to say that performance against England will have done a lot to waken up Australian sports fans. And I think the emergence of some players on Saturday at Twickenham will really galvanise Australian rugby union. That is a real positive for the world game, in my opinion. Yes, the Six Nations were on show on TV this weekend. England, Wales, France, Italy, Scotland, and we started with Ireland against the All Blacks on Friday night. And just had a review of social media and got a few things I want to share with you. Rugby is definitely fine margins, and I think if you look at the England-Australia game, a lot of the Australian Twitter traffic this weekend was very much around how impressed they were with Valentini and Bell. And it was very positive for me to see a prop getting such plaudits from his home nation's supporters. So, Wallabies, I do agree that your prop, Mr. Bell, was really one of the big differences between the two teams. There were other fine margins around the pitch, I will grant you, but I don't think the statistics necessarily say that. Looking across the pitch, for me, difficult to put my finger on why England couldn't record a win. However, I will say that some of the offloading that I saw from the Australians was just world class. And no matter what defensive system or who your defence coach is, when you're up against offloading of that quality, you're going to be in trouble. So, fine margins, yeah. England, 24 handling errors and were turned over 19 times. Very difficult to get a win with stats like that against you. Why were there so many handling errors? Not sure, really. I do think this Autumn Nations series has attracted good crowds. Friday Night Lights in Dublin, Saturday Night Lights in Paris, very impressive. And rugby really does have superstars. And what we've seen over the weekend would lead you to believe there are lots more of those superstars in the making. And they can promote rugby union. And our sponsors, whether it's at grassroots level or whether it's at international level, we've got to encourage our sponsors to stay with our game. So if you are posting on social media about your player of the match, and it's from a sponsor, get the sponsor's name out there, get their hashtag out there, get their handle out there. Really help that sponsor feel part of our game. Just looking at the results that caught our eye this weekend, England, Australia, as we mentioned, the Scotland game against the world champions, very, very close in my opinion. The scorecard just slightly says differently, but a very close game, fine margins, and I do think Scotland are emerging as one of those teams that could really cause problems in the Six Nations in 2025. In National League One, Rams, who are up at the top, were playing Sedgley Park. And following this on Twitter, and again, well done the social media team at Sedgley Park, great coverage. Sedgley Park were really doing so well in that first half, and credit to the Rams for coming back in the second half. A couple of yellow cards, Bob Burtwell, Lewis Bradley. Always difficult on social media to know what the yellow cards context is, but that clearly made some difference. It allowed Rams to dominate some of the set piece and, as ever, as we've talked about before, utilise that maul to work in the final part of the pitch. Superb result in National 2 in the north. Lim taking on Leeds Tykes and getting the W. Lim are really doing something special this season so far. They should be one we're all keeping our eyes on. And the final one was Wales-Fiji, and, well, congratulations to Fiji. Obviously had all their Tier 1 players this weekend. They did well. They did very well. They, again, can offload so sublimely. And, again, Mike Forshaw's defence is well drilled, but the quality of the offloading and the ability to one-hand almost basketball pass is something that really is a skill, and we saw it in complete abundance this weekend. Well done Fiji, well done Australia for those. Delight to watch, an absolute fantastic advertisement for our game. As I say, being able to offload really can disrupt any defensive system. People may well talk on social media about the English defence system being a problem, not being fully engaged, being high risk. Maybe, as Rory Lawson said on the TV, sometimes you do have to have the blitz, but other times you need to set back. England will evolve, I'm sure. I've got every confidence that they will. But if you've got the quality offloading centres that the Wallabies possessed, it's going to make things very difficult. Handling errors can massacre any game plan. And I think the Italians saw that, the English saw that, the Welsh saw that. Handling errors really gift the opposition the opportunity to create try-scoring, point-scoring opportunities. South Africa bringing 7 forwards off the bench. Wow. But how well did Scotland respond? Steve Tandy, take a bow. Your team really understood what they needed to do, and they did it so well. But a 7-1 split is tough. And as both Steve Borthwick and Warren Gatland found, injuries can really throw you. I know there's been social media about Gatland saying that Costello should not have come on. It should have been somebody else. Not sure that's relevant, but, you know, if you go in with a 5-3 or a 6-2, sometimes you haven't got direct replacements. And England lost Curry, who is that superb tackler and jackler, and England lost that. And I did think Don Brandt and Ben Earl found it very confusing to be 1 minute playing on the flank, the next minute playing at 8. I didn't think that helped, and I think if I was Borthwick, I would definitely have a look at that one. But there's action across the country, and as I say, Sedgley Park came close in the first half, but the Rams let rip in the second half, taking the victory 40-22. And the next Sedgley Park back row, Mark Goodman, featuring with a man of the match performance at Vale of Loon Rugby. And as I say, sponsored by Grosvenor. Good to see. And on social media, this try was incredible. I didn't see it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, but the tweets really were fantastic. Well done, Bertie. And elsewhere on social media, Chariots of Fire, Martin of Fire's son, Tyler, making his debut, university scholar at the Uni of Bath, but there he is playing for Bath Rugby. Tyler of Fire, well done, young fella. And back to congratulations. 2 great tweets here. One with the man of the match, player of the match by London Pride. Good to see the brand all across the picture. And love this, when you make your debut and your schoolmates are there to see it. Special night for Academy Centre, Gethin, O'Callaghan. Great, good to see. And as we come to the end of this discussion, really do give me the thumbs up if you're liking what you hear. Make a comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. 2 great tweets, one from Opta Johnny and one from Tom May. Opta Johnny confirming my thoughts about Angus Bell, and Tom May picking up that just ever so slightly injured Marcus Smith may have been struggling a little bit in that last play. I don't think that's trying to make an excuse. I think it's just a conversation about how important Marcus Smith is to the England team. And as we come to a close, my thanks as ever to Talking Rugby Union, National League Rugby. Much enjoyed this, and until the next time, you keep talking Rugby Union. Thanks now.